Good morning, people, and I wanted to talk to you all because since morning I've been contemplating that, I think it's about time that we look at building our own platform and maybe, via that platform, extending our service to a lot of other people that we can reach at this point of time. And honestly, I feel the services that we offer, which are wherein if people need to access them, they need to be a friend of mine. But at the end of the day, how many people can I actually be friends with and personally connect with? So keeping that in mind, what I've been working on since about 4 a.m. in the morning is that how I can make sure that I can put it all in a package and put it all under the packaging or a branding or wrapping up into a platform and making sure that everybody would be able to access it no matter what part of the country that they are in. Now, primarily, the things that I feel are of utmost importance. Just give me a second. I think this is gonna keep on budging in. Now, primarily, the things that are of utmost importance are, firstly, the decision of buying a car. Everybody, trust me, more than you talk about buying a house, you talk about buying a car, because I think most people take that decision first and the other one later on in life, because it's obviously easier to buy a car because of the price tag attached to it. And it's a lot of aspirational value because it's one of those assets, I call it an asset, that you create in life, that you enjoy at a very early stage in life. Obviously, I think today you have a lot of alternatives, but still, in spite of the fact that you have a lot of alternatives in your personal life, in your personal commodities, buying a car is one of the first things that people strive to achieve, because they have a lot of dreams attached to it and they have a lot of ambition attached to it. You won't be surprised, because I am not surprised for sure. I come across people who are at the age of 40, 50, and they're still excited as a baby when they're coming to me to buy a car for themselves, and they're absolutely happy around it. So the first decision that I want to help people with is to buy a car for themselves and make a choice whether they want to buy a new car, they want to buy a used car, and then what kind of car they want to buy, what kind of money they should invest, and what kind of fuel they should go with, looking at their driving lifestyle, looking at their driving routine, and the kind of occupants they would have in the car and the kind of terrain they're going to be using the car on. So the first decision is buying the right kind of product for yourself. Second decision, because you've already taken the first step wherein you bought the product. Now is the real journey that starts, wherein you need to make sure how you keep the product up and running, because extremely important, because it's like your human body. If you keep your body right from day one, and that's when your parents guide you in the right manner and they give you a lifestyle, like get up early in the morning, have your food right, have your hygiene right, have your discipline in place. So the moment you have all those things in place, you won't have a problem with the word called life. What you call a successful people, I honestly feel, are the kind of people who are disciplined towards life, and are the kind of people who can manifest, who can create, who can work towards goals, who can actually create goals for themselves, and who could have a plan of action around it. It's very simple, and you learn all these things at a very, very early stage in life, and that's what I want to replicate when it comes to taking care of your car. It's going to be similar to your body, wherein you got to clean it maybe every day if you can have somebody to clean it for you. If that's not a possibility, on a weekend take it for a nice wash and wax, and on a weekend pop the hood, check the fluids in place, and make sure that in case you see any warning signs, you should know what warning signs are all about, and you should be in a position to address these issues and get over them before they turn into a big cancer which is incurable, which is what usually happens with consumers here. The reason they put a brand in the black spot is only because of the fact that they don't have too many advisors around the brand. And when they don't have too many advisors around the brand, they don't know how to address issues when they're at the nascent stage. And eventually what happens is that you end up with a lemon. You end up with a product that's uncontrollable. You end up with a product that you cannot fix, you cannot sort. So that's the second stage. Now the third stage is when you find a problem, how do you go about solving it? First stage, it was taking a decision to buy a car and you bought it. Second stage is taking care of it to make sure it does not give you a lot of trouble, and when it does, you need to know what to do now. Now that's the most important bit. You go to these authorized dealerships. Trust me, I don't say they're bad. I don't say that they're con men. I don't say that they're trying to dodge people. However, look at the kind of investment that they've put in, multi-crores, and all usually on bank lease and with heavy interest rates. And who are they going to milk it out of? Their consumers, their customers. And that's where things start going wrong. That's where the brand starts going wrong. So for example, you go to a dealership and everything is expensive. You're being scared in terms of you're being threatened in terms of walking in there, and people are trying to tell you that, oh, that's a very big problem and it's going to cost so much money. That moment onwards, you start losing your faith, your confidence, your trust in your product, in the brand that you bought it off, and that's where things start going wrong. So what we need to do is we need to channelize a setup where there are enough experts in the market who are freelancers and who are not getting enough business. Because of the fact that they're good at a particular job, but honestly, they don't have the expertise to promote themselves. They don't have the expertise to market themselves. And because of that, they don't get enough business. And when they do not get enough business, what happens at the end of the day? They start cutting corners as well. So what needs to happen here? You need to, via the platform, we need to organize a system which is pan-India, wherein we put together a group of nice people who are well-evolved, well-experienced, do not have the financial ability or the mental ability to promote themselves well, but they're not trained for that, right? They're not evangelists, they're not marketing people. They are professionals who do a particular job in the best possible manner. So let them do that job in the best possible manner. And via the platform, we're going to give them healthy, decent, happy customers who it'll be their sole responsibility to take care of them. I'm just going in for a fuel pump, guys. Just a second. Let me get some gas. So that's one of the things that we need to look at. Just give me a moment. So the third problem is taking care of the car and knowing the right person to be able to do that. And I think we've addressed that issue. Now the fourth, there's always a life cycle. Everybody is not like most people that I know of, which are collectors. Just give me a second. $16 liters petrol. Right. So everybody is not a collector, and people want to sell their car off. And what we can do is we can make sure that we can offer them the marketplace where we could find them the right buyer, we could find them the right consumer, which they could hand the baton over to, which is their used car, which they took care of all their life. And we could make it absolutely hassle-free. We could make it stress-free in a manner where the documentation transfer happens via the platform, where we ensure the clients, both of them, interact with each other. If there are any hidden problems in the car, which occur sometimes, both of them could interact with each other and share the experience with each other. And we could have a very transparent platform where there are no brokers involved, there are no dealers involved, and there are no hidden charges. So after being in the industry, I understood the gaps in the industry, and what I figured out that it's high time we need an app which is built for the consumer, by the consumer, and to make sure it serves the end user in the best possible manner, to make sure that they have a trouble-free experience with their car, which is I would say, the first investment that they make in their life. So signing off, guys, and I feel I'm going to elaborate on this a lot more, but I wanted to share my thought process with a lot of my people who have always guided me and advised me in terms of making sure how I evolve the product, how I evolve the brand in the best possible manner. And my agenda that a lot of people ask me is that, where do we make money from? How do we make money from? I don't know. I'm not doing this, and I'm not building this platform with the agenda of making money. This platform is built with the agenda of making sure that people who are qualified get enough business, and people who put in their heart and soul into a product by investing their hard-earned money into it get the right kind of service. Now, I'm sure the platform would need money to sustain, survive, and reinvest, and making sure that the platform keeps evolving at a regular pace. What will allow us to do that is basically the subscriber base. We could have some fees attached to it, a very minimal one, which is going to be something like $10 a day to enjoy all the services and the facilities, which is not really a pain for people who are using it, and it takes care of the evolution and the bills on a day-to-day basis. So signing off, guys. There are going to be more interactive videos like this coming up, wherein I need all of you to be helping me understand how I could create a platform which addresses the problems in terms of the problems of an end user, which he faces usually when it comes to driving a car for himself and owning one. Thank you so much. Signing off, and that's the Classic Car Man for you. Yuvan Bakshi. Take care.